Well. Good afternoon, everybody. Russell, the West End Network. Hope you're safe and well. It is Button back in the broom cupboard for another dose of Hammer's headlines. This morning we spoke about the Frankenstein squad that is West Ham, going through some of the facts and figures. Key takeaway: 38% of the squad is still under date, was bought by David Moyes. And then at lunchtime we spoke about the renewed rumours of a Qatarian, not necessarily takeover, but buying into the club. And I sort of poo-pooed that, I think, to be honest. But we've got the world famous Hammer's Headlines in association with the KUMB.com boys. Lots to talk about. Some good, some bad, some ugly. Let's start with the bad news. Let's talk about, and it is bad news, despite what my brother would think, in terms of Konstantinos Mavropanos. He looks like he's going to be ruled up for up to 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks. Is the prognosis? Yeah, I think it's the right one, not diagnosis. One of them. With his injury, which is a blow to Nez, really. I mean, the Hammers Greek centre back has got a hamstring injury, which suffered during the last home game, which was obviously a defeat by Brentford, where he hobbled off and we played for the last 15 minutes with 10 men and actually probably looked better randomly. He was taken off on a cart, wasn't he, at London Stadium. Now he's set to miss at least a month on the sidelines, which is bad news for the player. And I think West Ham as well, bad news for us. He was probably our best performing defender this season, which is saying something about our defence. But it could be one of those pivotal moments, same as the Ollie Scars injury. Ollie looks like he could be up to... could be at least 6 weeks on the side of a dislocated shoulder, more so if an operation is needed. We're still waiting to see that. So it could be, if that operation happens, it could be months until he's back in the claret and blue. But it's going to be one of those pivotal moments in terms of needing to seek a change to our defensive shape. Arguably one of our better performers centre halves is now not available. I think 𝗏𝗏 and Qiellman have basically proven themselves as a very unreliable pairing. So is it a case, sorry, I've got really itchy nose. Is it a case if we go to the 3 at the back option? Maybe Qiellman with Bissaka and Eagle maybe on the left-hand side as part of a trio. With Kyle Walker-Peters being able to, occupy the right-hand wing-back position. Similarly, we've got Diouf on the left-hand wing-back's position, or maybe a case of, bringing in Igor and dropping 𝗏𝗏. I don't know, but it does seem that we need a solution within the squad now. It could be potentially, I don't think it would be the right option in my eyes, but bringing up maybe one of the under-21s, so we can talk about it in a minute. We did a bit of a very sort of quick sort of deep dive into Ezra Mayers and Erdős Golombekis, and we're going to do a little bit more about Golombekis for the next Academy show. Yeah, probably not. Yeah, for me, not the best, not just yet. I think they've still got a little bit of a learning to do, and I don't think they're ready quite yet. So can we hang on and hold out till January? That's the case. If we do, then according to reports, it does seem that Nuno has identified his top target in terms of defensive options, and that is the little defender, Alexandro. Now, according to ESPN Brazil, it says the 26-year-old who recently made his first appearance for the Brazilian national team, is seen as a key target for Nuno's rebuild of the Hammers defence. He's 6'2", came through the youth ranks of Flamengo and Resende before moving to Portugal and playing starting off in the 3rd tier, Prenese, and then moving within Portugal up the leagues until he eventually moved to Lille in July 2022, where he has over 100 first-team appearances for them. He's actually the first ever player for Lille to have received a call-up to the Brazilian national side when he was called up by Carlo Ancelotti in late May 2025. Seems to be a profile that Nuno is looking at, and according to reports, he's been identified as one of our priority targets for the January transfer window. Let's see if we can get him and how much he's going to cost, and whether Lille are going to do any business. As we know, it's proverbially very tricky and trying to do any business over January transfer window day. And and also just that the prices tend to be exaggerated tremendously. But I did sort of touch on Erdris and 𝗬𝗏, and if you want some, not necessarily cheering up, but if you want to have a, watch West Ham with a smile on your face, the under-21s are back in action. It's their third game in 7 days as they take on arguably their biggest test of the season so far, when they take on Swindon Town in the Virtu Trophy. They travel to Swindon. All their Virtua games are away for West Ham, for the academy. For anyone who's the academy and the 21s, they play away in all the games, where a win would guarantee a place in the knockout stages. 7 p.m. kickoff. I think it's on YouTube, and you can watch lots of the academy stars we talk about every Monday in the academy show, particularly obviously with the long-term contract news of 𝗬𝗏 𝗏𝗡 𝗏𝗏 𝗏𝗏, and we spoke about maybe the likes of Josh Landers getting a new deal. You may also see a returning Josh Ajalo in the side, returning Josh Briggs from injury. You may even see Daniel Cummings, who came on for the last few minutes for the game against Aston Villa under 21s on Friday at Rush Greens. He may get some more minutes today. They should all feature tonight. So make sure you tune in and support the boys. As you see the big boy, that is Mphamodu Kánté, who is an absolute beast of a player. And people talk about, players who are the next ones with a step up. For me, someone like Kante is the most likely, just because of the physicality that he possesses. Preston Fearon is a fantastic player. I think he needs to bulk up a little bit more before he comes in just for the challenge. He'd have to be massive to be in it, but he has to be strong. And I think he sometimes gets pushed off in the under 21s. We'll see. But I think someone like Kante, he is an absolute beast of a player. And he's a decent ball player as well, can play, but it's not just a lump, he's a good player. But check them out, and hopefully they'll get a decent result. The last one was on Tuesday, where they drew 3-3 away at Sutton United, but won on penalties 4-3 to get the bonus point. And so as I said, a win today puts them into knockout stages, which I think is better than they did last year. I think they didn't make the knockout stages last year, if I remember correctly. But yeah. Anyway, take care, everyone. Stay safe, stay warm, stay humble. Don't forget to check out the lovely guys at sneezeandbrand.com. Over 25 years in the business. Forums, news, opinions, all that good stuff is on there. And go back and check out our videos we did this morning and this afternoon, and let us know what you think. Tomorrow we'll have Holly doing the videos, and then also we should have Budgie and Kieran doing an old school hammers, and the gloves are off for Budgie. I'm just warning you, the gloves are off. He is going to give West Ham double barrels, he's told me. So it's worth tuning in just to see Budgie go absolutely radio rental. Anyway, don't forget to like, comment, share, give it a hype. Still got your hypes. Much appreciated. See you soon. Latest potatoes.